The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
An ESPN analyst has a major prediction for Jets wide receiver Garrett Wilson. Could it actually happen? We'll get into that. Plus, the Knicks season is officially on life support. We'll break down a disappointing Game 4 loss to Indiana last night. It's the Jake Asman Show. Oh, and a surprise guest will join us. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby.
I got just the guy to get us going tonight.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Brees Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, here on a Wednesday. Hope everyone is doing well. Lot to talk about with the Jets. Lot to talk about with the Knicks. I am disgusted, to be quite honest, with how last night went down, so we'll talk about that in just a bit. But we'll start with an interesting topic here involving the New York Jets. So we know Garrett Wilson wants to be a Jet for life, and according to one ESPN NFL analyst, he's due for a year where he will lead the NFL in receiving yards. That's right. Ben Solak of ESPN, in a story out yesterday, wrote this about the Jets' soon-to-be fourth-year wide receiver. Quote, Garrett Wilson is the best receiver Justin Fields has played with in his NFL career. Wilson is the wide receiver one with the biggest gap in quality between him and his wide receiver two in the entire league. Wilson has played mostly on hard mode, a lot of press coverage, downfield routes, contested balls, etc. And new coordinator Tanner Engstrand will prioritize getting him easier targets. As such, I have a nagging suspicion that Wilson will lead the league in receiving yards in 2025. Couple things on this. One, I hope you're right, Ben Solak. I hope you're right. Two, I don't see it. I just don't buy it. I think the Jets are going to be too run-oriented as an offense for one of their players to lead the NFL in a statistical category that if you look over the last couple of years, what it would take for Garrett Wilson to lead the NFL in receiving yards, the amount of yardage he would need. I just don't see the path, given what we know this offense wants to be, for Wilson to put up those kind of numbers. I think he's going to be awesome. I'm not concerned about Garrett Wilson. He has proven in his career the man is quarterback proof. But let's just look at the last couple of years, right? Jamar Chase last year led the NFL in that category. He had 1,708 receiving yards. Jamar Chase played on a team that has a quarterback in Joe Burrow, who's elite, and Jamar Chase also had an elite wide receiver next to him, and that still didn't impact him, right? T. Higgins was there. So I understand saying, well, Garrett is just the only true, legit star offensive weapon the Jets have, and Fields is going to funnel him targets. But we saw Jamar Chase win the award, and I think a lot of that has to do with who your quarterback is. Also, the fact Cincinnati had to basically score that many points because their defense was so bad. But even if you just remove Jamar Chase's year last year where he put up 1,700 yards, here's a look at the previous receiving yards leader from the last 4 years. Tyreek Hill had 1,799 yards in 2023. Justin Jefferson put up 1,809 yards in 2022. Cooper Kupp, when he was with the Rams, that year he won the Triple Crown and LA won the Super Bowl, he had 1,947 yards.
That was in 2021. Stephon Diggs with the Bills in 2020, 1,535. So that was, just based on math, the outlier year. Right? All the other guys that I mentioned since 2021 and beyond have put up at least 1,700 plus receiving yards. One guy almost put up 2,000, and two guys basically eclipsed 1,800 yards. So I just don't see that from Garrett Wilson. But I think he could have a huge year. I mean, Garrett Wilson has gotten better statistically each year so far. And I do think the offensive coaching staff that the Jets have is the best he's walking into since he's been in the league. Now, it's not saying much. I understand that. But I do have some faith in Engstrand being able to make life a little easier for Wilson. It doesn't mean he's going to be a great offensive coordinator. But what I'm saying is this. He was the pass game coordinator for the Lions. I think some of those concepts he could apply with the Jets for Fields. And Garrett Wilson will definitely get the ball in space. He'll get the ball with some easier concepts that allow him to produce. I just don't think he's going to lead the NFL in receiving yards. I think it's a lot. If he does that, I mean, how many yards is Fields throwing for, right? This is a guy who's never eclipsed, I don't believe, 3,000 passing yards in the season. I think if you want a good comp for Garrett Wilson statistically, go back to when Justin Fields was in Chicago. And his number one wide receiver in 2023, the last year Fields started the full season, was DJ Moore. And DJ Moore had 96 receptions that season for 1,364 yards, 8 touchdowns. I think Garrett Wilson could definitely do that this year. I don't think that's crazy. Right? You tell me Garrett Wilson goes for 1,364 receiving yards. It's one of the better Jet wide receiver seasons over the last 25 years. I think Garrett could have even more than just 96 catches if they really want to funnel everything through him. And we know Aaron Glenn spoke last week about get the ball to Garrett. Get the ball to Garrett. Right? So I do think Garrett's going to have a big year. This is not me saying I don't believe Garrett Wilson's going to put up crazy production, because I think he will. I just think when you talk about a guy leading the NFL in receiving yards, that is really hard to do. Now, Garrett Wilson last year statistically was at 1,104 yards, and he did score 7 touchdowns. And he had 101 receptions. Career highs across the board. I think he could break all that. That's why I bring up DJ Moore, because the idea that, Justin Fields, he's not going to throw enough for any of his guys to put up production. Maybe not all of them, but Garrett will get his numbers. I still think Garrett Wilson is going to be a top 10 statistical receiver in the league this year. I just wouldn't pick him to lead the NFL in receiving yards. I think when we start talking about that, so much has to happen for that to come to fruition. I'm just not banking on it. At first, I thought this was our guy Dre making this prediction. 28 touchdown island. Now Garrett going to lead the NFL in receiving yards. To put it in perspective, if Garrett Wilson even comes close to Brandon Marshall's 2015 with the Jets, who wouldn't sign for that right now? Friend of the show, Brandon Marshall. 2015, that was the best wide receiver year I've seen in my fandom rooting for this team. Age 31, Brandon Marshall, 14 touchdowns, led the NFL, 1,500 yards receiving, 1,502, and 109 receptions, which was a Jets franchise record. I don't think it's out of the question that Garrett could have that kind of year. But I think when you talk about leading the NFL in receiving yards, I wouldn't go that far. Now, with that said, I'm hoping the New York Jets and Garrett Wilson can get a contract done. Because I think Garrett Wilson's the type of guy you want to pay. And if they wait to do it and he has this kind of year, right, he actually does lead the NFL in receiving yards, once again, you cost yourself a lot of money. So Glenn's saying the right things about Garrett. Garrett said the right thing about showing up, being a leader. I think the two sides are kind of in that honeymoon period with the new regime. I would get a deal done with Garrett before training camp starts. I think it sends the right message to the rest of the locker room. Similar to what they did with Jamie and Sherwood. I think the team, from what I have heard, really loved that a new regime came in and recognized the guy by his own peers was voted team MVP last year. And obviously Wilson to me is a better player than Sherwood. But it follows the same premise of you pay your own and it sends the right message to the locker room. I think it also looks good when you're talking about culture when you pay your own, because Garrett deserves it. I mean, he would have better numbers if he didn't have the quarterback situation and coaching situation he's been thrusted into through his first 3 seasons in the league. And obviously, you're hoping Glenn and, more importantly, Engstrand could stabilize things on that side of the ball. But Garrett Wilson will get his numbers. I just think when we talk about leading the NFL in receiving yards, given what that would look like, right? A year where he's going to have to put up 1,700 receiving yards. When we thought the 1,500 Brandon Marshall put up was the craziest thing ever. Now we're going to talk about another 200 yards on top of that. I think it's a little crazy. Hey, I hope it happens. I hope Ben Zolak is right. If that is correct, and Garrett leads the NFL in receiving yards, all right, Ben Zolak, you name the charity, and the Asmaniacs will raise all the money for you for nailing that prediction, because that would be crazy. I don't even know what the odds would be on that. We'll have to take a look at that. Maybe we'll put a little $10 wager on that. But hey, it's May. We could dream a little bit, right? Why not? But do I think this happens? No. Do I think Garrett Wilson is still going to be incredibly productive? Yeah, because that's Garrett Wilson. I don't think that's crazy to think at all. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Reminder, raffle is coming up. Your chance to win a signed Walt Clyde Frazier jersey. Your chance to win a signed Joe Namath jersey and a signed CJ Mosley jersey. If you gift the membership, you're entered in our raffle. Before I get into the Knicks disaster from last night, I posted a couple of new updates in the announcement tab, in the game meetup tab for everyone who's coming to Tampa with us for our road trip game this year. Tampa Bay Asmaniac meetup. We have a party confirmed the Saturday before the game. We have a tailgate confirmed the morning of the game. And hopefully, maybe by the end of today, I'll have details on the group buy for a hotel where you can get a discounted hotel room in a prime location in Tampa. I believe about 8 minutes from the stadium right in downtown Tampa Bay. So working on all that and more. So for those of you who want to join us on our road trip, join the Patreon, and it's first come, first serve on tickets to the meetups and the hotel discount. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Get in the Discord, and all the info will be there. All right, before we get into the Nick debacle, shout out to J-Boy for paying it forward. He has gifted not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 channel memberships to get us going today. Thank you, J-Boy. The 5 listeners who received a membership from J-Boy are Leon Betts, Megan Voger, Georgie, G-Man, The Prophet, and John Steppick. One more membership gift. The Roster Dread is in the Asmaniac raffle for 1. It went to a listener named Timbo, and Roster Dread says, enjoy, Timbo. So thank you very much, Roster Dread, for paying it forward. All right. Knicks last night. Very, very disappointing. Very disappointing. I mean, that's the word that stands out. You knew when they were down 2-0, in all likelihood, they were not coming back and winning the series. 7% of teams that go down 0-2 have come back and won the series in the history of the conference finals. So you knew the odds were against the Knicks. But after they played the way they did in that rally in Game 3, you thought there was hope. But in reality, this is what's supposed to happen when you go down 0-2. You're hoping you could just get it back to the Garden for a Game 5. The problem is, I don't know how you could feel good about this Knicks team right now. Last night, they were just thoroughly outplayed. To me, this game really was decided with how the Knicks closed the second quarter and how they started the third quarter. That, to me, was the turning point. The Pacers went on a 14-0 run from late in the second quarter to the start of that third quarter. They led by 12 early on in the third when Thibodeau finally called a timeout. That was the game. Last night, they had no answers defensively at all. Tyrese Halliburton, credit to him, he was sensational last night. I've questioned just what level of a player he is. He certainly has continued to improve, and last night he played like a superstar. You got to tip your cap. Indiana outscored the Knicks by 16 in the 37 minutes he was out there. The Indiana bench completely outscored the Knicks bench. They outscored him by 15. I thought there were some questionable lineup decisions. I don't know why Deuce McBride is only playing 15 minutes in a game that's almost like a must-win. The disappearing act for Mikal Bridges continues. I don't care what the final stat line tells me. He was bad last night and missed some critical shots in the fourth quarter when, for whatever reason, they had the offense running through him and not Jalen Brunson or Karl Anthony Towns. But the stretch at the end of the second quarter, compiled with just the overall sloppiness by the Knicks. And look, Indiana's deserving of credit. But when you turn the ball over 17 times, that's just sloppiness. That's not just Indiana defense. The mental mistakes the Knicks were making. A guy I love who has been so good for this team was awful last night. That's Josh Hart. Hart probably had his worst game as a Knick. I mean, it was brutal. Top to bottom. They got nothing from Hart. Bridges was terrible. Cat picking up dumb fouls continues to be a problem. They have no matchup for Karl Anthony Towns, yet the Knicks go out there and they just make it hard on themselves. We know they're not a great defensive team. They got to play how they did for most of game one until they blew it. And it felt like that, to me, is what we're going to unfortunately be looking back on when it comes to this series. How they blew it in game one, because this could easily be 2-2 with 2 of 3 in your building and you feel okay about it. But that game one continues to loom large. And the Knicks have not played that well collectively since game one until the final 3 minutes. Indiana's been better since then. Let's call it for what it is. And it just feels like that's what we're going to be lamenting if the Knicks don't pull off this 3-1 comeback, which, by the way, has been done before. So I'm not doing the obituary on the season just yet. The Knicks are favorites to win tomorrow night. You win, you get it to game 6. At least put the pressure on Indiana, and you never know. You never know. These two teams have been very even for a lot of the series, but Indiana's been better. We know the Knicks have their warts. They're an imperfect team. They can overcome it a lot of times with just their talent and their grittiness. But Indiana, they have depth. Their pace, not pun intended here, but their pace is just tough to match when you're not hitting your shots. When the Knicks miss shots like they were last night, it leads to long rebounds. When you have long rebounds, then Indiana can take full advantage. And Halliburton was incredible last night. A superstar player stepped up. Knicks are going to need that from Brunson and Cat if they're going to win game 5 and get it back to Indiana for a game 6. But it was just bad all around. It was just so disappointing. The way they ended the second quarter and how they started the third, just brutal. Just felt like Indiana wanted it more. I mean, I can't emphasize enough how disappointing I am. And just guys that you needed to be there last night. Hart, Bridges. It was brutal. It's so disappointing. 17 Knick turnovers. The starters alone had 10 turnovers in total. I know everyone wants to just blame the coach. Can we put some of this on the players too? Every time the Knicks win, coach never gets any credit. Every time they lose, it's fire Thibodeau. And it's just lazy. They're not firing the coach who led them to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years. It's not happening. Nor should it. All right, that's not how you run your organization. But if they end up losing this series, which down 3-1, I mean, the odds are the odds. We're going to lament the fact that they had an opportunity to end this drought and get to the finals. They really did. They had home court in the series. They had game 1. They blew it. And essentially, instead of having to win 4 games in the series, now you got to win 5. And now the Knicks got to win 3 in a row. But you can't think of it as 3 in a row. The goal is win tomorrow and get it back to Indiana. The Knicks need to do what Boston did. Show some pride, not get eliminated at home, especially to this team. Don't let Indiana come into your building for the second year in a row and eliminate you. Especially this year where you were healthy. You can't use the injury excuse. And it wasn't an excuse. To me, the Knicks were better last year. They just ran out of bodies. This year, Indiana's been better. It's called for what it is. To this point, they've been better. But show some pride and don't let them beat you in your building tomorrow night. Don't let them do a trophy presentation at the Garden. 3-5 at home this postseason, completely unacceptable. So I'm hoping the bare minimum, this team, which has been resilient all year, they love to play with their backs up against it. Well, now it can't be more up against it than it is currently. Show some pride and get a win tomorrow night. That's it. And then you go game by game. You have an injury here or there to a key player in Indiana. Things change quickly in a short series, especially when these two teams, despite being down 3-1, very easily could be 2-2 right now. They're pretty even. But unfortunately, when you really go by the matchup, Indiana has just been better. They've been better. I mean, look at how certain matchups have played out here. Nesmith's been better than Bridges. Halliburton for a lot of the series has been better than Brunson. Collectively, Indiana's been better. And while Cat has been dominating his matchup at times, he gets into foul trouble. And also, I've waited this long to comment on the officiating. It's not the reason why the Knicks lost, but God, are these refs terrible. Terrible. I mean, OG getting whacked last night, and then all the fouls being called on the Knicks right after that was the perfect encapsulation of how frustrating that game was. I mean, what I really want to say is inappropriate for air, but and don't tell me about the free throws and all the free throws the Knicks got. You got to watch the game. There's nuance to it. But it's just disappointing, man. Overall, you're in the conference finals for the first time in 25 years. This roster is still coming together. They need more. They need a guard like McConnell, for example, who can come in and score. They don't have that right now. But it's just frustrating because this was a real opportunity here. Real opportunity, and you feel like you blow it, and it all started with that Game 1 debacle. And that's what happens. As a Yankee fan, the Yankees, to me, lost the World Series not in Game 5, but how they blew Game 1. And there's that ripple effect. And this kind of feels like what happened here with the Knicks, too. But we're not doing the funeral yet. Show some pride. Knicks are favorites tomorrow night. Get it back to Indiana, and you never know. When you have two superstars like Brunson and Cat, as we saw in Game 3, you got a chance. So they should have won Game 1, and they already won a game in Indiana. So they're down 3-1. Is it likely they're going to win the series? No. Am I throwing in the white flag? Not until they're done. We've seen 3-1 in the NBA playoffs before. It's happened. It's happened multiple times over the last 10 years. So it's not like this is like ancient history. So is it likely? No, but I'm not throwing away the season just yet. Overall, though, I mean, what else can you say? Just incredibly disappointing. And I thought more from this team. I understand they're not a great defensive team, but they can at times show you they can play defense. We saw that at the end of Game 3. But the Pacers get the ball, and they're in the front court in 1 or 2 seconds. They push the pace. They score. And then the Knicks, looks like they just ran out of gas last night. I mean, offensively, you score 121 points, you should win the game. I mean, to allow 130 points in a playoff game, it is hard to fathom. It really is. Super chat here from the big fella. Jake, I don't care if this sounds bad or not, but the refs last night were abysmal. Brunson getting trucked by Nesmith is a prime example. Yeah, I thought the officiating was a disaster. But I don't want to use it as an excuse because I don't want to give the Knicks key players a pass for how they played. But it wasn't good. I'm not doing my job if we don't at least acknowledge that. All right, before we bring on a good friend to the show, a special guest who is the star of a brand new movie that is out now, I want to shout out the Mike D's Nuts. Mike, hope you're doing well. He gifted 5 channel memberships for the people.
Bang! Thank you, Mike D's Nuts.
Is this Mike D's Nuts?
These gift memberships are on fire.
If you hear your name called, you thank the incomparable Mike D's Nuts. Dre Day, Howie from Jets HQ, Eric Rivera, Coach Drunk, Chris Curtis, Iowa Jet Fan, all receiving channel memberships. Thank you very much to the Mike D's Nuts. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is a longtime listener of this program. He is a Hollywood actor. And most importantly, he's an Asmaniac. Jonny Danks joins us now. Johnny, what's going on, my friend?
Good morning, Jets fans. What's up, Jake? How are you, man?
So, Johnny, I want you to give people a little background info on you. You have a new movie that's out. We're going to play the trailer here in just a bit. And I want to get into, of course, the film and everything that goes into it. The movie starring you, starring Eric Roberts, who's in this movie. But your background as an actor, the IMDb page, if you will.
Yeah, sure, man. The IMDb page. Nice. Yeah, man. I started acting in the early 2000s. I moved out here actually with I think you're kind of friends with Jerry Ferrara now from Entourage, right? I've seen you at some Knicks games with him.
Yep.
We kind of, yeah, man. We lived together early 2000s and started working right away. I was on shows like Reba, What I Like About You, S Club 7. I had a couple lines in the movie Catch Me If You Can. They were with Leonardo DiCaprio, actually, speaking parts, not an extra in the background. So Steven Spielberg got to direct me in that. And then fast forward to a short I did, and it was actually called Shakey Grounds back in 2012, I believe. And just stuck through it, kept pushing through, didn't quit, and ended up raising money. I decided I've had enough, kind of getting pushed in and out of roles, mostly out. And I went out there, found some investors, raised over 7 figures, and ended up being the producer of this film, Shakey Grounds, that is available to rent now. So it's been a long journey, my friend, but I never quit. Just like a Jets fan, I'm never going to quit on the Jets.
And you've been telling me about this film for a long time. We got the movie poster up on the screen. We'll play the trailer right now, then we'll get into it, all right? Because I want to talk to you about the movie and how we as Maniacs and Jet fans could support you in your career. Here's the trailer of the movie starring our guy Johnny here, Eric Roberts, a huge cast. Here is the trailer for the film Shakey Grounds.
What up, Rogers? Okay, where are the cuticles? From Bentonville, Arkansas.
Did you say Arkansas?
35 years in the music industry. I have never seen such a shit show.
Yeah, I was wondering if you could tell me where I can find the band The Cuticles?
Who's asking?
Nick Stone, A&R. Guys ready for this? Brad Goldman, Pacific Records.
Wait, did you start a cover band or something?
Not now, Lisa.
You want to tell me what happened to us? Because we used to be a team.
I've told you, Mel, you happy?
This is nuts, you know that, right? Someone's in love. I like my music with some edge. Dirty, rough, wild. Kind of like your shit. No matter how stable your life may seem, we are all just living on shaky grounds.
So that's the trailer for it, Johnny.
Thanks,
Shakey Grounds, available to rent now, right?
Yeah, it's available to rent now. Apple TV, Prime Video, Big Fandango, YouTube. So really excited about that. And yeah, man, really stoked.
What to you was the most rewarding part about the process of finally putting together this project?
I just think just when you're doing it and you're in the moment, you're like, wow, like I really did this. I put this together. We actually shot in Arkansas, which was interesting. Yeah. And as you can see from my cast, this doesn't really happen too often, Jake, with indies, with this kind of budget. I don't know if you guys recognized the Kurt Cobain looking gentleman, Eric Nelson, who's best known from the prequel to Yellowstone, which is 1883. He was like the lead guy in it. So we got him. Eric Roberts is in it, as you can see. The young woman is Mackenzie Ziegler. She's best known for Dance Moms coming up, big female audience. Maddie and Mackenzie Ziegler. So this is kind of her feature film debut, and we have a couple other actors in there. Well, so I'm really proud of the cast, first and foremost. So yeah, man. So when it happened, it was just like, holy shit, I'm here. And then you just kind of live in the moment and just kind of go with it, man.
From the start of the project, when you actually, wrote the script, got the money to put it together, to it out being available for people to actually watch it? How long did that take in total?
I didn't write it. I was like co-writing, but I know but yeah, it was probably, man, we had a few different writers kind of come in and out. So I would say like a few years until it's called like kind of like shooting ready, like script ready, where, you go through it and just make sure, you kind of visualize each scene and kind of put the budget together with each scene and day out of days. And took a few years, my friend. Thanks for the coffee mug, by the way, Jake.
I appreciate it. Johnny, for those of you who came to the meetup we did last summer on Long Island, he was there. Some of the listeners of the show probably met you in person last year. How long have you been?
Holy crap. Thanks for that, by the way, Jake. Sorry to cut you off. Actually, if Gary, if you're on real quick, can you call in? Because I have actually a funny story that day I want to talk about. If not, no worries.
How about Gary getting a shout?
Gary was there. Yeah, Gary rolled in.
He was.
Funny, big smile.
That was the first night I met him too.
Cool.
What is your background as a Jet fan, Johnny? How far back do you go with this team? What's your Jet fan origin story?
Well, I have like little memories when I was really young with my best friend who's he lived down the block from me, and I would go down his basement, and his dad was a diehard, and this was like the Altoon days. I was really young. I don't remember too much of that. But for me, it started to like my fandom kicked in, I would say, in the early 2000s. The Parcells, yes, but more with, I think Herm Edwards was when it really started, that early 2000s. Chad Pennington. There was somebody out here that formed a small group at the time, early 2000s. It was the LA Jets fans, and we would kind of gather up together. People drove up from San Diego, Orange County, and just surrounding cities in LA, and we'd all get together and watch the games. And it started to grow and grow and grow. So I would say the early 2000s, and then the peak for me was definitely that 2010, 2011 year, the Sanchez years, and the Rex Ryan, and that's my best memory. And and here we are. And then ever since then, it's just been But I would say the early 2000s is when it all started, the fandom.
Not great.
It's pretty hardcore, Jake. Like I was thinking about today, I was like, damn, like I have literally chose to watch Jet games on Sunday over hanging out with like girls I was dating, and like they would break up with me, and I was still like, I'm a Jets fan. I don't think you're a real Jets fan until you have somebody break over you because you choose to watch a Jets game, or you call in sick to work, or get fired from a job to watch a Jets game, and I did both of those. So that's my fandom. Yeah,
you got fired for a job to watch a Jets game. Share that story.
Did. Yeah, just some restaurant work I was doing. I was on schedule to work Sunday, and I did the old, I can't come in. And they knew I was, and they were like, oh, don't come back tomorrow. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Hey, man, my commitment to this team was, it's pretty hardcore.
I totally get it. Now, are you a fan of any other New York teams, or the Jets are by far and away number one?
I would say the Jets, my number one. Definitely the Knicks. I'm a Knicks-Lakers fan because I did live out in LA for a while. So 50-50 there. And I have fond memories of, the Patrick Ewing, John Starks, Charles Oakley days. So I definitely watched some of the game last night. It was a bummer. But and then after that, I'm a big New Jersey Devils fan for hockey. I played a little bit of hockey in college, so yeah.
That's awesome. All right, so let's do a little rapid fire with you here, because you worked with some really cool directors. You worked with some big actors. Who was the most talented movie star that you've worked with before?
Probably Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, that would probably be the one.
And you worked with him when he was still kind of like rising to like full-fledged superstardom. Catch Me If You Can came out in what, 2002?
Yeah, it was a while ago. I was really young. I was almost like a teenager, but that, still to this day, that day was like probably one of the best days of my life because, Leo, I remember we were taking a set break and he was outside smoking a cigarette, and I was a little bit, experiments, little cigarettes back in the day. And I was like, shit, should I go talk to him? I was like, heck yeah. I have lines with him, so I'm going to go, ask to bum a cigarette. I did. And yeah, this was like 2002, Leo. So it was not fresh off Titanic, but like about 5 years later. And yeah, we were just talking, man. And, I kind of tried to like hold it in. And then of course, like I fucking fangirled all over it. I was like, Titanic, Romeo and Juliet. And he told me some cool stories about Titanic and stuff like that. Yeah, so I would say Leo. Leo was cool as hell.
Now, you brought up Titanic. Are you aware they're doing a remake of the film?
Stop.
Yeah.
Really? James Cameron?
Cameron's directing it with Charles Gorman now playing the role of Jack.
Oh my God. Charles, call in, man, if you're on. Yeah. Damn, that thing looks. I caught some of your show yesterday, and I was like eating, and I was just like, oh man, and kind of
that's tough.
Yeah, it was tough, man. That was a tough meal to eat. But, that was gnarly. He definitely needs to work on a new razor, or someone needs to show him how to shave a little better.
Uno
Love
Jet
you,
says, I'll check it out. Support our Jets family. Let's go,
Thanks,
Jets.
Uno. Thanks, brother.
That's
Appreciate
awesome.
it. Yeah, guys.
Let's see. Some other questions I had for you. But first, this one is from Nate, parentheses Nate. Has Jonny Danks ever crossed paths and had the pleasure to work with Rick Kent during his days in Hollywood?
I've heard about him. There's a buzz that's being created. So
a Jeopardy star, Rick Kent.
Yeah, I just signed on to do another movie that we could talk about later, and I will. I'm gonna reach out to, have Rick Kent's agent, email me. We'll get him in something for sure.
I love
Jake,
it. So,
really quick, I wanted to tell you too. You had this video out. I don't know when you were I think we were at the Super Bowl or Radio Row, but it was so funny because this doesn't get talked about enough. I'm like, dude, you interviewed Rick Harrison. That was like one of my favorite interviews you ever did. That was so cool.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that was great.
That was at the Radio Row for the Las Vegas Super Bowl.
Okay.
And it was awesome. He couldn't have been nicer. Really cool dude. Super humble. Like I thought that was a really good interview. And obviously my channel is geared towards Jet fans, so probably a lot of people didn't even see it, but it was good.
Just so you know, Jake did an interview with like Carrot Top, Rick Harrison, and all these people. I was like, oh wow, it was
your
awesome,
people, the entertainers.
Yes, I'm a big Pawn Stars fan. Yeah, Pawn Stars is awesome. And all right, let's keep it going. Questions.
All right, in your career, what is your favorite role that you've ever played? Your best role?
Well, the one coming up is going to be really interesting. But as far as what I did. I'd say this one. I'd say Nick Stone. This one for Shakey Grounds was I got to play an A&R, disgraced record label, and getting to work with these great actors was fun. I would say this one. Although, I did play like a super dork on the show called S Club 7 back in the day. I mean like Steve Urkel dork. And that was pretty fun. But I would say for sure this one in Shakey Grounds. That was my most fun.
So what's the process like? Film comes out. You guys are all doing different media appearances promoting the film. But what happens after that? You brought up a new role that you were teasing there. Like how quickly do you start working on the next project once you get done with this project?
Yeah, it's all relative. But with this one, we're just kind of waiting on the funding. And actually, I'm going to do a little. It's actually from a book called Sheer Pressure, written by Greg Abbott, not the Texas governor, but another gentleman, Greg Abbott. Sheer Pressure. It's based on a true story. Yeah. And there's a screenplay, and I met up with him, signed on. This is going to be a massive budget. And we're just, taking the steps. But as soon as the money hits the bank and it looks like it's going to be the end of the year, we go right into pre-production and start scouting out what state we're going to film. It looks like we're going to do the New York City, Hamptons, New Jersey area. So Jake, I hope you got your SAG card, because you're the first one calling.
I actually do have a SAG card because
Yes.
I did it for ESPN and Sirius. You have to join the union if you're going to work on air in New York. It's like a state rule.
Oh, sick. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
If you need an extra, I got you. I'll be in the film. I got you.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, but that's the steps, and we're just we're waiting on funding, and it looks like it's going to start this this fall winter, and I'm really excited. This is major. So.
Well, if you're in the area, you got to come to some of the watch parties we do or a jet tailgate. That'd be awesome.
I did. Yeah, and I will, because I was at. Was it last year's? Was it week 2 against the Titans? What bar?
Were you at T Squared?
Yeah, I was for one of them. I think it was week 2.
I'll tell you. You know what? I remember seeing you. Yep. You were at the Titans. It was honestly we had to get you at more because that was the only watch party we did where the Jets actually won the game.
Yeah, man. Neil, actually, the video you showed was funny with Neil doing the Jets chant. That was that week, right?
That was that game. Right after they won. Yeah, right after they
Neil,
won.
if you're on calling, because I have a funny story about what happened before Neil did that chant. But if not, it's fine.
This is the video you're talking about.
That is the video. So I'll just say it if Neil's not on. But right before Neil did that, we was doing this all, getting everybody all raveled up, and then he's doing it, and like knocks into this woman. She's like, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And it continues, J-E-T. But like in the moment, it was really funny because he like literally like knocked into her and like almost like, pushed her over, and it was really nice. Just like, oh, I'm sorry. And then continues on, just really funny in the moment.
That's peak Neil. Also, the Jets never won another game after Neil thrusted before the home opener. So I think we need more of this as well this season.
I think that guy I know, right?
He stopped doing it, and then the season went in the tubes. So I think we know what we need week one before probably Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Jets.
Yeah, and then I was actually in the background next to Matt O'Leary in the other video. The whole Brock Purdy. I was at that. Was
he's gonna die. Yeah, let's see if we can find you. That I haven't played that in a while. Hold on.
And by the way, guys, if Jake ever throws these meetups, you gotta go. I'm telling you. I remember going up and the food was so good. You had not only like one food truck, but Jake had like 3 food trucks, and one of them was so good. It was like sausage and peppers. And I remember like taking out money to pay, and they're like, "Oh no, you're good." I was like, "Holy shit!" So thanks for that.
It's a party, Jake. Man. Yeah.
I don't know. So I know it's tough times. People need to, but it was thank you for that. Really, it was like free drinks, free food. It was just awesome, and the food was really good too. So that was sick.
Yeah, no, that was an awesome night. Yeah. I appreciate you, man. You're always listening on the radio too. I can't find the "He's Gonna Die" video, which is very disappointing here because we haven't played it in so long because it brings back memories of us once upon a time thinking the Jets in 2024 were going to be really good, and that unfortunately did not happen. It might be right here though. Give me 1 second. So for you, let's talk about the current team while I pull this up. What's your outlook on Aaron Glenn? Your thoughts on him so far, and just your thoughts on this roster going into 2025?
I was excited about the hire, to be honest. I know he's a Bill Parcells guy and it gets thrown around a lot, but that carries some weight, man. And he played on the Jets. I don't remember too much of those years, but like live, like watching it. But the Bill Parcells, man, he was a no nonsense guy, and I know if anyone wants to just see like footage, you'll see him like it was a different time, but he was ripping. He would look at Keyshawn Johnson and like rip in his face, almost like not make him cry, but it was aggressive. So that's what I think we need right now. Robert Saleh, we believed in it. I remember when he got hired, we were all stoked, but the whole it doesn't work. Trying to be friends with the players. Like I know we're in a time where it's not like sensitive time, but it's like, oh, let me try to be friends with the player and all. It just, as we could see, I hope everyone sees it clearly now. Like in sports, the most violent sport too, in any sport, but especially this one, you can't really. That approach is tough, and I don't know if the players take advantage of it. And it didn't work with Saleh, even with Todd Bowles. I just remember.
Did we lose Johnny? We might have lost Johnny. Unless I got knocked off the air, which I don't know if I did. There's no one on hold right now currently, so this could be me. We're going to find out. Now, I have TVs on in front of me that didn't go out. Someone write in the chat if you can hear me talking right now. I think it was Johnny. Man, that's tough. He was giving a good take there, it felt like. Anyway. I think I'm still on the air. All right. You all hear me. Appreciate you. I did find the famous Long Island Jets chant, a.k.a. "He's Gonna Die." But I'll wait for Johnny to come back before I play that. In the meantime, let's open it up to your comments and your questions. Super chats, we'll cut the line. I put Johnny's IMDb profile in the chat as well for those who want to see some of the movies he has been in. Up and coming guy, one of our own. Really great dude. Obviously, he's come to a couple of the events. You heard him talking about it. So check out his new movie, guys. Support a fellow Asmaniac. Shakey Grounds, available now to rent. So pretty cool. One of our own. He's one of the co-stars of a new movie that's out there. So check it out if you got some time. Let's see. J Mull with a super chat, $10 super chat. It counts for 2 in the raffle. Honestly, I don't think either the Knicks or Pacers would put up much of a fight against the Thunder. The Thunder are an elite team. They're obviously the favorites, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, the Knicks probably wouldn't have won anyway, so who cares? Nah, man, like, get to the finals. That's a huge accomplishment. Huge accomplishment. You know, you ended the conference finals drought. Imagine ending the finals drought, too. Like, you never know when these opportunities show up. And, you know, no one thought that the Raptors had a chance against the Warriors in the finals in 2019. But you know what? A couple injuries happen. All of a sudden, Toronto's champions. No one talks about that title being invalidated. So you play the games, man. No one gave the Knicks a chance against Boston, and they won. So it doesn't make me feel better that the Knicks are going to be a big underdog against Oklahoma City if they got there. Like, I don't care about that. Give me the chance. Anyway, just disappointing. I have some good news, folks. Johnny is back. Johnny, we lost you mid-answer. I guess your internet crapped out, which happens to all of us.
So I'm stoked about Aaron Glenn, and so I'm excited for this new approach, and we'll see what happens. And so but I'm excited. I actually wanted Membu. I personally liked the pick, and then Mason Taylor. So we'll see what happens. But,
I was able to find this video. So let's see if we could find it. You said you're behind Matt O'Leary?
I'm like behind him on the right.
All right.
Let's see.
Here we go.
Like in the background. Yeah.
Let's do it. Back to June of 2024. Times were a lot different for us Jet fans.
Is Brock Purdy going to run for his life on the opener? Yeah! He's going to die. Let's go.
I see you're behind Bonesy too.
Yes. Oh, Bonesy was that was fun. I got to meet him, and it was really fun, man. And I think you guys had a good time at the draft party too.
Draft party was great. It's amazing. I always say this, and like you're a perfect testament of this. Like, this fan base is so great, despite having so little to celebrate. And you know, the Jet organization does not deserve how great their fans are. And you know, I hope that one day we're rewarded for the loyalty, because it really is amazing when you consider just how bad it has been. Not even having our own stadium, just everything that comes with being a Jet fan. Yet it's like the Jet fan is unkillable. Like, we keep coming back for more.
It's crazy. I know. I hear it on your videos. Like, you always did it really take a hit? Like, were some people just like out now? Like,
I know a lot of people that cancel tickets just aren't as engaged in the team. Like, people I know that were like really big fans are like asking me like, oh, like, what do we do here? Like, they're not like locked into every move like they were, or like, you know, like, I'll watch the first round of the draft and then like after that, whatever. Like, it's just, it's been very different this offseason than previous off seasons. And I think I have a pretty good pulse of it, because I've been doing this daily show now for 4 years. This will be my 5th season being live every day talking about the Jets. And this has been by far and away like the least enthusiastic the fan base has been since I've been doing this.
Yeah, man. By the way, I'm a huge fan of you on the radio too, Jake. And if anyone hasn't heard Jake on Mad Dog, you should listen, because, you know, with this structure on his YouTube show, it's, you know, it's very, not like repetitive, but it's hard to, you know, come up with new. But when you're on the radio, I love when you just talk about other teams, other sports. It's really cool, man. You know, I'm always like DMing you, like, Jake, I'm driving somewhere, and I'll take a picture of you on Mad Dog and kind of like send it to you. And so I really love you on the radio, man. You're
thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. I appreciate that a lot. Let's see if anyone has a question for Johnny about his acting career, about the movie coming up. Last chance to get it in. Open phone lines. We got no one on hold right now, so you can call into the show as well. Let's see. This one is from Thunderlips, who says, it's so expensive to go to a game with your family. I don't want to spend that kind of money until they get their heads out of their asses. That's part of the problem too. It's not like the Jets have given you like a discount on your season tickets despite all the losing. They continue to raise the prices. It's not like being a season ticket holder comes with all these great perks. Like the season ticket holder gift every year is laughable compared to what other teams around the league do for their fans. So it's just, there's other than just, hey, I've been doing this forever. It's been in my family forever. Like there's not a whole lot of like incentives to be a season ticket holder right now, unless you see winning. And then that's what we all want. It takes care of itself. But, there's just, it's not like the stadium is great where it's a great experience to go. Like the Knicks have been bad, but the Garden sold out every night because it's the Garden. You don't have that like with the Jets and MetLife. So it's just, I get it, Thunderlips. It's very apparent.
Yeah, and it used to be pretty good, right? I'm not saying they took care of you, but weren't there incentives like back at least 10 years ago? It was like right? The change, and now it's like you said, it's ranked the worst. I think it's ranked the worst stadium experience out of all the NFL stadiums. I think.
Well, you know what I think happened? I think just more teams got new stadiums over the last 15 years that MetLife's been open. So MetLife maybe was middle of the pack compared to the old crap holes that were around the league, but they're all gone now that you have these new cathedrals, palaces. Like the last couple of years, I went to games in New Orleans. I went to games in Vegas. I went to games in Atlanta. I went to games in Dallas. These are all like new stadiums. Dallas has been around a while, but it's amazing. Like they're just so much better than MetLife. Houston, so much better than MetLife. Tottenham. I went to London last year for the Jets. That stadium is incredible compared to MetLife. Like it's very frustrating.
Yeah, man. So what do you think? What's the prediction, Jake? I know we're floating around. Is it 4, 5, 6? Has it kind of changed with you? You kind of like see how things go, or where are we at now? Like 6, maybe?
I'm at around 6 right now.
6.
With the ceiling being higher if Glenn's a real coach and they maximize the talent of Fields. But I've been burned too many times. Like so, I'll set my expectations lower and hope they overachieve because I was bullish the last 2 years. I really believed in this team and thought they were going to be really good, and it destroys me just how bad, it went the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm scarred still from the Zach Wilson days. And your videos like in the car. I love when you get hot, man. But
have you ever had an actor on a set or a director explode like that? Like I did after several of those debacles with Zach Wilson.
I did, man. I started in a huge Subway sandwiches campaign back in the early 2000s. And I mean, like the camera was here. Like it wasn't like, oh, there's, Johnny in the online ordering a sandwich. It was like here. And I had like 10 lines. And I'll try to make this really quick. And I was very green, to the business and with what I needed to do. And there was my lines, and then there was VO, which means voiceover. So stupidly, I asked somebody else that was around, like, hey, am I going to have to do these voiceovers like on camera? Because usually a voiceover is, you kind of go into the ADR, you go into the studio and you put on the headphones and you're plugged in and you do your voiceovers there. And then they like link it all together. Well, no, you don't have to do the voiceover. So I don't do my voiceovers. And then, I do I start doing my lines, and then, tell her, what are the lines? Like this guy goes, hey, Scott, hey, you know that girl at the pet store? I go, who, the redhead? He goes, yeah, the one that feeds the lizards and the turtles. I go, yeah, you got someone to tell her? And I go, yeah, tell her that right now, Subway. And I just stop. And I was supposed to say, the sandwich has a spicy buffalo chicken sandwich with tender strips of chicken, And I stopped. I didn't do it. And director was, what are you doing? No, go ahead and do the voiceover lines. I was like thinking, oh shit. I didn't, in my head, like I don't know them. I didn't really look at them. And then he goes, are you effing kidding me? You were sitting in your trailer for hours and you didn't do this. If you don't memorize this in 5 minutes, you're fired. And the crew who was on there, like filming, like the guy holding the boom, everyone was just like, holy. And then we took 5 minutes, and Jake, I had 5 minutes to memorize. And it was just a couple lines, but my pulse was beating out of my neck, and my face was, bright red. And, he's like, if you don't find it, we're going to find another actor. And back in the day, in the early 2000s, national commercials paid a lot of money, a lot, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 for one day of work.
Wow.
So that was all going through. Anyways, this director was screaming. I ended up memorizing it. coming through. But that was this director on the commercial got really, really hot. So yeah.
Wow, that's a crazy story. Some
Yeah,
questions here for you. Gator writes in, Johnny, favorite all-time Burt Reynolds film, and who are your top 3 dream people to work with, director or actor?
Oh, man, Gator. Shout out to Gator. Damn, the GOAT Gator. Thanks, Gator, by the way.
He wants you to call in more so he can make you a kick-ass intro.
Yeah, all right, I will. I'm going to call in more for sure. Oh, man. All right, well, I'm going to go with Boogie Nights on this. I know it's a little later on in his career, but I got to go with Boogie Nights. And Mark Wahlberg would be somebody I would love to work with as well. I would say Mark Wahlberg, Adam Sandler, Anne Hathaway. Those 3 people I would like to work with. Okay. Yeah, triple Anne Hathaway on that.
Sandler would be great. You guys could talk about the Jets all the time when you're not.
We could, right? The goddamn Jets. Yeah, so I would say those 3. And yeah, director was Spielberg. Who else? Maybe Scorsese. That would be cool. Yeah.
Dan, another good one. Dan with a super chat for you. Do you plan on attending the game in LA against the Chargers next year? And maybe at the Rams, we finish in the same spot in the division as them this year.
Heck yeah, man. What's the date on that one?
I think he's talking about like 2026. Right? Dan, you're so far in advance.
Oh, yeah.
But you're based in New York now, right? Or the New York area?
No, I'm actually in LA. I'm in LA right now.
So you're back in LA. Gotcha.
I'm back in LA. And yeah, I went to a couple of Chargers games when we had LT Tomlinson. Do we have Favre that year? Or was that Sanchez?
They played the Chargers in 08. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I went to that game, and yeah, man. If I'm, yeah, definitely.
Uno Jets writes in, Johnny, if you put the Asmaniacs on the big screen, it'll be a blockbuster. Could you imagine some sort of show on the characters of this show?
Not a bad idea, Uno Jets. We could, you know what? Maybe we could put together some pilot, like a treatment for some of these characters that call in. I do watch the show a lot, you guys. I know a lot of the regulars. So the thought has crossed my brain. So yeah.
Great question from Oregon Jets. Did you get a free Subway card when you did the commercial?
I asked them about it because I don't know if you guys remember the movie Happy Gilmore, right? Hello. But remember the scene where Happy gets the free Subway card for life? And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to ask them. Instead of like, you don't have to pay me, just give me a free Subway card for life, just in case things don't work out for my career, my family, when I start a family. Could always eat. I did ask Oregon Jets. I did ask for one. No, they said no, though. Yeah.
Let's see. 818 says, I watched Shakey Grounds last night. It was amazing. There you go. Someone's actually.
Let's go.
I'm planning on hopefully getting a chance to watch it this upcoming weekend, but one of our listeners has already seen it and has a top-notch review. There you go.
818. Oh, that's my boy. That's my boy, Brian Madiri. Yeah.
Love it.
I saw the picture. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate it, man.
Dan says, Johnny, would you say your biggest challenge was trying to act like you weren't a Jets fan last year after the season went to bleep?
Yes, it was. That was the hardest acting role I ever had. I think I threw away some shirts. I actually genuinely remember. Jake, do you remember the game? Oh, we were playing the Bills. I know I'm just throwing out a random game. I think was it Geno Smith? It was when Mike Vick we got our asses kicked. It was like at the end of the first half. So many of these, but it was like 40-0. It was some terrible game with Mike Vick, and I remember, or Geno Smith, and I just remember. I don't know if you guys watching have ever like literally have like ripped your jersey or like actually like threw it away like during a game. I mean, I have so many memories. But yes, that was. I do have to sometimes, pretend I'm not a Jets fan.
Great question here from Rich. Are you team Beastbreaker or team Bobby Beasley?
All right, let's get
back
into
and forth
this.
war.
Let's get into this. I'm going Team Beast. And the reason is for me personally. This is me. I've heard some of the shows recently, what's going on. But I'm a big WWE fan and WWF, but now WWE, where I used to, would really watch Monday Night Raw every Monday for just years. Back in the Triple H, the Attitude Era, Triple H, Undertaker, Kane, John Cena, The Rock, Mick Foley, Stone Cold. So when Beast first called in, I watched some of those videos, what he was kind of doing his shtick, and it just reminded me of like Michael Cole and Jim Ross, these announcers that would just do their thing, and I was a fan. So Rich, for that, I'm gonna go Team Beast. I think he's our guy too, and I support him. And I had a guinea pig growing up too. His name was Spike.
Wow. Now that's why you got to go Beast. Come on now.
Yeah.
You say whatever you want about Beast, but that man loves his guinea pig.
I did. And my guy's name was Spike. And I remember unfortunately when he died, I was in like middle school, and I ran home from school, and I didn't know how to cope with like a pet dying. But yeah. Yeah, man. So Team Beast, Richie, Team Beast. What's going on with that, Jake? Is there going to be we just have to see what happens in the next couple of days on your show?
Yeah, I mean, I'm essentially waiting for Beasley's team to tell us when we're going to do this trial. The trial of the century. It was supposed to be Monday, and it didn't happen. The fireworks instead went off between the two of them. I don't know. I mean, Beast is claiming that he's just not going to acknowledge Beasley anymore, but he says that for a day, and then the next day he's screaming and yelling again. So I really don't know what's going to happen.
Okay.
Big mystery.
Yeah. And I'm just thinking of some of your callers over the years now. I don't know if you remember, but there was a week where I DM'd you because there was the V-Man when he called in. He was trying to get to his first Jets game ever, I think. And was it first game ever or just first game of the season? I can't remember. And I was like, Jay, I was in Rockland County, New York at the time, and V-Man I think lives in Peekskill, New York, which is about 30 minutes north of me. And I was going to volunteer to go pick him up and take him to his first Jets game, and I remember you did DM me back saying, no, he got a ride, but thank you so much. So V-Man,
Curly Norman, Curly, he might be in the chat. Curly's a regular listener of the show. He might be the most negative Jet fan, but he's a great guy. And he picked up V-Man to and from. I took him to the home opener last year. We did a big tailgate before that game. That was the best part of the season last year. I mean, I never could have imagined leaving MetLife that night after they destroyed the Pats in the home opener, just how big of a disaster it was going to be.
So V-Man, I did offer to come pick you up. That's how much I'm involved in this community,
Curly says, I'm V-Man show for you know what? Okay. Curly doesn't get enough credit for this. If you gift Curly a channel membership, I'm sending you an item from the JakeAsman.com merch store. Yes. Curly needs a membership badge. So gift away and Curly gets it. You are being rewarded in addition to your raffle entries. Let's see here. I think there was great question from Boomtown. He goes, Johnny, did you catch any part of Asmaniac Madness? Thoughts on Mr. Bonesy being the champion?
What up, Boomtown? I did. I caught a lot of it, actually. There was some upsets in there. I was a little shocked about, but yeah, I'm trying to really think about some of the matchups. I liked some of who did Charles end up losing to? Big Fella. Yeah, shout out to Big Fella. You came through, man. I think a lot of people are like, this is gonna be close. And then
he had the Batman costume on, if you remember.
The Batman costume was sick. That was awesome. I appreciate that one. And then Purple Bell Mike, that was you. I think you put on a costume too. Was it Batman too with somebody? But
PBM put on something. And then he had the punching bag that he was
too. Yeah. So
I mean, it was a great tournament, man. Bonesy, Neil, King Lowski, and Gary were the final four. It was Lowski versus Bonesy in the final. It came down to a couple of votes here or there. I mean, it couldn't have gone any better for the first time we've done it.
Yeah, I voted throughout too. Shout out to Bonesy for winning. That was a great finale. And shout out to King Lowski. Lowski, you always make me. You put a smile on my face when you lose your temper. When we've just been, on some of your videos and. Get that child off the field. That was some funny stuff, man. So I appreciate your videos. Yes, Boomtown. You're gonna do obviously, Jake. You're gonna run it back next year and kind of
absolutely. You're gonna be in it. You just got to call once. The rules last year, if we keep it the same, was you had to be eligible for the tournament. You had to have called at least once over the previous 3 months before the brackets came out. So as long as you call, we're gonna get you in there, Johnny. I love it.
Okay. I'm excited to see the new face. If I make it, great. If I don't, I'm excited to see the new faces that get through this year. So yeah, that was awesome. That was making Asmaniac Madness was sick.
I love it. All right, for people just tuning in and for people who need a reminder, tell us again, Shakey Grounds, where our audience can find it and support you in your career, and everyone should check it out because it's a really good movie.
Yeah. Jake, after that, I was going to take us out with like a quick 3-minute song. Is that cool?
You going to play for us?
I'm going to play a little bit, just
right.
not original. Yeah, is that cool? Just a song everybody knows. Just kind of take us out. So Shakey Grounds, available now on a lot of streaming platforms. I would say the most common ones are Prime Video, Amazon Prime Video, Apple TV, I think YouTube Movies, Fandango, and it's available to rent now. And I'm a big Asmaniac, big Jake Asman supporter. I always have been since Jake started, and so yeah, I would love for if you support me, if you support Jake and the New York Jets. I have lived. I do live and die with the New York Jets, and so your support means a lot, and I hope to see you guys at events. I will call in more, but if I'm ever at an event, I'd love to meet everybody. So, all right. So I'm gonna play a little something.
All right. Now I don't know what he's gonna play, people. I was not informed of this, so this is a giant surprise for me. I'm excited.
I don't know. I don't know how the quality will be, but it's a song everybody knows. But just gonna have a little bit of fun. All right.
Hey, Johnny, the guitar is too far from the mic, so it's tough for us to hear it.
Oh, okay, let me get closer. Sorry, here we go.
Let's see if that works.
Better?
No, we actually can't hear it at all. I don't know. Maybe it's. Is there? Are you using your laptop mic, or is there an actual?
Yeah, the laptop mic.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not picking it up. If there's another way to
working?
kind of. No, we can't hear it.
Oh shit! All right. Well, next time.
You'll have to call back and perform it another time then.
We'll do it another time. But
I love it.
Yeah, man. All right, cool. Well, thanks for having me on, Jake. JETS all the way. Let's have a killer 25-26 season. Let's see what happens. And thanks again, my brother.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, Hollywood actor, diehard Jet fan, and true Asmaniac, Jonny Danks, with us here on the show. The new movie, Shakey Grounds. You heard him say it. It's available now. Pretty cool. One of our own is in a movie. He's had an awesome acting career. Told you about some of the roles he's been in. Posted the IMDb page. So check it out. Thank you to Johnny again for coming on. He's been a longtime supporter. Many of you guys probably met him at either T-Squared or the Long Island meetup last year. So a little something different on the channel here when times are slow for the Jets right now. It should pick up tomorrow, though. OTAs open to the media. Second practice that's open with the full team for media to be there. Faria is going to join us right after practice for immediate takeaways. So we'll have him on for that. And that's always a good time. Plus, Matt O'Leary will join us tomorrow morning in his weekly spot. Cincy Matt with a super chat. Jake, thank you for sending the Asmaniac onesies. Cincy Zach was born on Friday and is doing great. Much love to you and this community. Congratulations, Cincy Matt. Cincy Zach is a new Asmaniac. Everyone, show some love to Cincy Matt in the chat. That's awesome. Robert C. says it was demoralizing how the Knicks lost. Seems like the Pacers scored 40 points on easy drives to the basket. The Knicks don't score those type of points. It just felt so hard for the Knicks. But they still scored 120-something points last night. It just, the defense was deplorable. Let's call it for what it is. They had no answers. And we understand they're not a great defensive team because the nature of their team is you got your two best players are not great defenders. But what's the excuse for Hart and Bridges and OG to be that bad? Like Siakam killing them? Brutal. And he's really good, but it's just like that can't happen. And it's very disappointing. We knew it was going to be very, very difficult for the Knicks to go out there and pull off this comeback once they lost the first two games at home. I just expected more last night. But it's 3-1. Show some pride. Don't lose at the Garden. Don't let them celebrate on your floor. That's got to be the goal. You worry about game 6 if you get there. Got to win game 5. All right, comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Open phone lines for anyone who wants in on the show. JD says, we should feed Faria questions before he attends. Well, if you have questions for Nick or players you want him to keep an eye on, let me know, and I'll relay that to him in advance of tomorrow. With that said, let's get to some of your calls. I don't think the audience is going to like this one. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Gusbuster hotline is a Patriot fan. Six Rings has called in. Hello, Six Rings.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, Six Rings. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. The Knicks. You guys just can't do it. Boston. It's always that we own New York, but you have the Yankees. So see the merch I got. It's my Super Bowl football with all the legends of the Super Bowl teams. So I just came out to say, I think you guys have to be a bottom 3 team this year.
The Jets?
You think so, or the Jets? Like, do you think you guys? Because if you guys go get 5, 6, 7 wins, you're not going to get that amazing piece you want. You need a quarterback, I think, right?
Thanks for the time, Six Rings.
You get the fuck out.
I thought there was going to be some sort of payoff for that, but that was a weird one. They might need a quarterback. I don't know. They're going to give Justin Fields a chance. And if they go out there and win 4, 5, or 6 games in a much better quarterback class next year, they're still going to be in range to get one of them. I mean, Todd McShay had 4 guys go in the top 10 in his first mock for next year, and he has Arch Manning staying in school, so we're not even talking about him as a possibility. So, we'll see. They might need a quarterback. They need to find out they have a coach first. And as far as your first comment, last I checked, it was the New York Knicks who defeated the Boston Celtics in the second round of the Eastern Conference playoffs. Also, Luffy, good question. Was that football deflated? Six Rings, was that football deflated?
No, it's just merchandise. But I can also argue your point and say we won the title last year.
You did.
Beat the team that you guys can't beat. And you beat
did.
us injured. Jaylen Brown and Tatum were injured.
You were down 3-1 with Tatum.
He was injured.
You were
And
down
Jaylen
3-1.
Brown, too.
You were down. He was healthy. You were down 3-1. Then he got hurt. You were losing that game.
Happens,
Of course.
Look at Cleveland. Every team has flaws.
Yeah, the Knicks
can't win all the time.
The Knicks would have been in the conference finals last year if they stayed healthy. They lost their entire roster besides.
But I don't like your trade. Like Cat, I just think he's not playing defensively very well, He's just leaving everyone open. But he's not the problem. You guys gave away 5 picks for Bridges.
Yes.
That's the trade I don't like. Cat's okay. You gave up Randall and DiVincenzo, but you gave up 5 picks for Bridges.
Is your name actually Six Rings? Like that's a government name?
No, my name's Louis.
Louis?
I just put 6 rings because we're Patriots fans, and that's what we have.
Now, let me ask you something, Louis. How did you find this show? Like, why is today the day that you've decided to call in?
I don't know. I just found it. It just came up.
You just clicked it, and you're like, this is
And
interesting.
I just clicked it, yeah.
Now, question for you. How come you didn't make your bed this morning?
I don't know.
Didn't feel like it?
Didn't feel like it, no.
Yeah. So what's on the agenda today?
No, nothing. Just off work. I work at the hospital, but it's casual. So, you have to build up your seniority, So it's lazy day. Go for coffee.
So little cup of Joe and just hanging out, calling into
that's it,
Jet
yeah.
YouTube shows?
Just watch Jet shows, yeah.
Yeah. Are you a frequent caller?
Afternoon. What?
Are you a frequent caller into other shows?
No, not really, no. I called another Jets fan, but that's about it.
Who's the Jet fan you call?
I don't remember their stream. Like some Jets fans, and they talked about your quarterback Joe Namath, who cursed your franchise.
Did you call the Jet show back in the 60s?
No, but he cursed your franchise.
I mean, he won a Super Bowl.
Sold out. Yeah,
and it was the
sold
MVP.
out. You haven't won since.
That's not because of Joe Namath.
But it's the curse, it's fun. It's superstition.
No, I just think the Jets were really bad.
He sold out, and he sold out the Jets.
No, I just think the Jets have been really bad.
No, you guys have had some good quarterback. You had Aaron Rodgers, who's a legend.
I mean, we had Aaron Rodgers at the end of his career, and unfortunately, he got hurt 4 plays in, which changed the entire trajectory of what he could have been with the Jets.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But this quarterback's going to haunt you for the next 5-10 years.
Who?
Drake. He's going to haunt you guys now.
Based on what?
Tom Brady. Sorry?
I think Drake May is just as good as Mac Jones.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see this year. But you had Sam Darnold, and look, he left, and he became an amazing quarterback. Maybe it was 1 year. Do you think it was kind of fluky, or do you think he always had that potential?
I think he's talented. I don't think he's ever going to be a top 10 quarterback consistently.
Yeah, and they want to switch the rankings, right? So they want to go, it doesn't go by division. They want to go 1 to 7. So would you like to see that, or do you think it will ruin? I think it will ruin the rivalries, Even if, let's say, the Jets go 9-8 and win the division, it would kind of ruin the rivalries.
I don't think they should mess with the division, meaning you get a home game in the playoffs.
Yeah, but it's also you could look at it from the other standpoint that a 13-win team or a 10-win team in a good conference won't make it, like Seattle. They were, I think, 10, 11 wins last year, and they were booted out because of that rule.
Now, let me ask you this, Six Rings. The chat doesn't seem to really like you. Would you like to try and ingratiate yourself?
I'm a Patriots fan, but I'm just here for fun. They don't like me because I'm a Patriots fan, and they think we deflated footballs. There's no proof.
Well,
what's the proof that we deflated the football?
I mean, the evidence is kind of overwhelming. I personally don't think it's that big of a deal, but I mean, we don't have to act like you guys didn't do it.
We beat them, 45-7? They couldn't even score.
Dave Briga says you're a front runner. Thunderlip says he doesn't like you because your face bothers him, not that you're a Pats fan.
I think he doesn't like the jersey behind me because that jersey is worth more than your whole franchise. That one player back there has done more than you, the Bills, the Dolphins.
Are you saying the jersey itself or the player?
I'm saying the player, the meaning behind the jersey. That jersey, number 12, is greater than the Jets. It's greater than the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Would you like to respond to Beastbreaker? He says that you're a turd.
That's okay. He doesn't like. If I came on as a Jets fan and started praising your players,
I see.
It's just I'm a Patriot. It's a division rival. If I was a Chiefs fan or a Cowboys fan, I scare you.
Dave Briga says,
like
"Don't make me call
season,
in."
Right?
I don't know if you want to deal with Dave Briga. You got to be careful, all right?
They don't like me. If I was a Cowboys fan, they'd react the same way.
Mike D's Nuts says you're a schmuck. Would you like to respond to Mike?
I don't need to insult people. I'm happy where I am. You're a schmuck.
Yeah.
He's a schmuck.
Wow. Strong words, Six Rings. Very strong.
I'm a clown. One Super Bowl in 60 years?
Nate says we were due for an all-time terrible show at some point. You know what? I'm actually on Six Rings' side now. Go F yourself, Nate.
You get the fuck out.
Hey, I'm just saying how it is. If the Patriots were shit before Tom Brady, we had.
You're scaring Rick.
We had Bledsoe.
Any response to
and
Rick?
He couldn't get it done through Bledsoe. Then we had Tony Easton in the 80s, and he couldn't really get it done. Then we tried to bring in Mac Jones, Cam Newton, and these guys. That's that player. I don't even know if Drake May can get it done.
What are your thoughts on
One
Belichick
player.
destroying his legacy by allowing a 24-year-old to run his life?
I think she's 21, actually.
Well, she's actually 24, but still.
I think he's not the first guy. I think the Raiders GM's dating like a 19-year-old or something, and he's letting him control the franchise.
Jay Quest says Louis is a 40-year-old virgin. Would you like to respond to this?
No, not yet. Not there yet.
Are you not 40 or you're not a virgin?
I'm not a virgin. Blonde hair.
Oh, nice job.
Anyways, trust me, these owners, they can get whatever girls you want. A little bit of money, these girls will take anything.
Are you an owner?
Am I an owner? No. No money? No, if I had no money, I wouldn't have a roof over my head. Wouldn't have a car. And authentic football.
Nice. What type of car do you drive?
Yeah. It's Super Bowls. It's got all our Super Bowls and all our players.
All of them?
But it's all legends. You know, you have Brady, you have Gronk, you have Julian, you have Teddy. You have our legends.
Hey,
all
Six
the way
Rings.
to Easter.
Do you hear that?
It's not authentic. None of these footballs are authentic.
Do you hear it?
I have a Subaru. I used to have a Subaru, yeah.
Do you
now I have
hear
an
it?
Infinity. What?
Do you hear the music?
I don't hear the music.
Well, guess what? Now you do.
He thinks that Charles and Bobby need to get a job. This cowboy hates to see Asmaniacs complain. What he call him, one punch breaker. You need to get a job. What he call him, one punch breaker. The beast is on his ass. Call him one punch breaker. Has anyone seen Bean Mac? Call him one punch breaker. He'll only need one.
Hey, Louis. I didn't need
I
this.
don't have a Subaru. I have an Infinity, not a Subaru.
Nice. You know, I didn't need to hear you on a day I didn't feel well. Okay, I got a bad cold.
Hey, man, if I was a Bills fan or a Dolphins fan,
I don't care what you are. You're a Patriots fan. You call in here and try to trash us. You got a lot of nerve, buddy. Would you come here to try to trash us? We got enough suffering. You're just a front runner. Now you're losing, right? You're losing. You think you got
actually,
that?
this year we're going to be two. We're going to be number
What's
two.
that? You're number two.
Second best team.
That's not good enough. You want to be number one. What do you want to be number two for?
We'll be number one next year when the Bills lose.
No. That doesn't work that way. You're either one or two.
Though.
You're a front runner, right? You want to be number one. What?
This year, I'm just talking about this year. I'm realistic.
We don't care
I'm not
about
going to stay here.
You're going to be number one this year or number two? What are you going to be? One or two?
This year. Number
what?
two.
Which number?
Potential.
One or two? There's no such thing as potential. You got to achieve greatness. So you want to be number two. You achieve nothing. Zero. Just like you're trying to trash us. You're a big zero. You're a big zero calling here like this. Wearing that number 10 jersey. You know what we're going to do that number 10 jersey this year? We're going to stuff it up their rear ends. That's what we're going to do. Just like we're going to do with you.
He has a Pro Ball his rookie year.
Yeah, get out of here, Pro Bowl. He was a rookie. That's all he was, a rookie. Let him prove it this year. You come in here trying to trash us. It doesn't work, buddy. I'm not concerned about the Knicks. I'm a Jets fan. Basketball doesn't concern me. I'm only concerned with guys like you.
Knicks, the quarterback for Denver.
Bo Nix. Bo Nix is not what we're talking about. We're talking about you, number 10, the Patriots fan. What are you talking about Bo Nix for? You come in here trying to trash us. For what reason? You don't have anything better doing your day off?
Yeah, it's my day off, yeah.
Yeah, front runner, number 6 with that deflated ball. They're finished. Tom Brady's gone. Belichick's gone. It's all over. You know, you Brady, but let's see what happens.
Drew Bledsoe said Drake, he's the next Tom Brady. He's the next quarterback.
Oh, yeah? I doubt it. Maybe Allen thinks he is. That's about the only one. We don't think he's anything. We're going to prove it this year. You're going to see. You're going to see. You guys are in for it. It's all over. Just like it. It's all over. Tom Brady's gone. Belichick's gone. Put that 10 jersey up. Put it on the wall. Because you're going to have to burn it.
This is the future of your
You
division.
have no future. Your future's over. The future's it's done, man. You front runners, it's all over. You're going to find out. That's all I have to say. I don't feel well today, but you ought to be put in your place. Don't call in and try to trash us, okay? We don't need you guys like you. Go to your Patriots site. You know, Tom Curran's available. Go talk to him. Go talk to Tom Curran. Bills. I don't care about the Bills. We don't like them either. You're in the same league.
You see, that's why your chat doesn't like me, because I'm a rival.
No, we don't. Well, we don't. We hate all rivals. Why should we like you? Why should we like you? Tell me why
I don't
we
hate
should like
anybody.
you?
I'm here for fun. I enjoy the sport. My friend's a Bills fan. My friend's an Eagles fan. I just have fun. It's for fun.
It's win or lose, baby. We want to achieve. We don't want second place. We want first place. You laid it out for yourself. You're just a number two.
We have to be, realistic.
Go back to Vrabel. Go talk to Vrabel and Tom Curran. You're better off.
We don't. The Knicks, the Celtics. Oh man, you guys.
I don't care about them. They have no meaning to me. They have no meaning. I'm only a Jets fan. That's it.
Oh, you're only a Jets fan. Well, why not be a Giants fan then? Why did you guys become Jets fans?
Why would I be a Giants fan? That's a stupid question. I'm not a Giants fan. It's a total opposite of a Giants. Go talk to Bobby. Bobby's a Giants fan. Bobby's a Giants Jets fan. You know Bobby? You know Bobby Midnight?
No.
Oh, well, tune into Bobby's show. He'll put you in your place. Okay? Well, that's all I have to say. I have to say, you're front runner.
You guys. If it wasn't
go burn that jersey. Go burn that jersey and blow the ball up.
The Cavs won. The Bucks won. They all won before the Knicks. The Raptors, the Bucks. Small market teams won titles before you guys.
What is, buddy? You're talking out of your league here, my friend. We're not concerned about them. Okay, you're in Jets territory. This is the Asmaniac Kingdom. You're lost. Go back to Patriot land where you belong.
I came here on purpose.
Well, that's why we want you to leave on purpose.
I drive an Infinity, by the way.
That's up to Jake. It's not up to me. If Jake wants you in the show, he wants you. But if it was up to me, you're gone.
You know what? Even if we deflated footballs, it's not a crime if you don't get caught.
Well, you proved you cheated. You proved you cheated. It doesn't matter. That era's over. That era's long gone. Long gone.
Should I bring up the Colts have had more success than you guys?
You can bring up anybody. We're talking about now. We're not talking about the past. We're talking about what's coming up. We're going to put you in your place, you and your boys.
I don't have a Subaru Phantom. I have an Infinity now. I have an Infinity. Learn English.
We don't care what you drive. Go ride a horse for all we care.
To me, it's your chat.
You don't make any sense. I got to tell you that, man. You don't make any sense.
Chat. They're all saying I drive a Subaru.
I don't care what you drive. Drive yourself to infinity. Get lost. Jake, I'm taking off, man. This guy's not worth my time. I don't feel good.
He thinks that Gary needs more shots upside his head. This cowboy hates when you don't believe in achievement. Well, they call him one-punch Sprigger. The moon landing was free. They call him one-punch Sprigger. His claim is not true. They call him one-punch Sprigger. Hated jokes, he's fighting sides. One-punch Sprigger. Doesn't know they need one.
So you do drive a Subaru, correct?
No, I have an Infinity.
Well, it says underneath your name you drive a Subaru. I think that's why people are confused.
It doesn't say under my name, no.
It says under your name on the screen. Are you blind? It says drives a Subaru. That's why people are questioning your car selection.
No, I really don't see it. But even if I had a Subaru, those are nice cars. They last, and I actually had one. That was my car previously.
No, look at the screen. It says drives a Subaru. That's where the chat's getting this from. Are you on crazy pills? Or if you're blind, I apologize. I'm not trying to make fun of anyone that's blind. I'm just trying to get some context here.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I drive it. It's okay. I used to drive a Subaru. Maybe that's why it would say that.
It says under your name drives a Subaru.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
I don't know how that got there.
Well, maybe because you drive a Subaru.
Maybe I drove a Subaru in the past. Now I should change it to drives an Infinity.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. But I do have another guy who would like to speak with you. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello. Oh, you stay right there, Mr. Subaru.
You guys are going
to big fella time.
Where he's home sitting in a chair, 'cause his back hurts. On the road, he's sitting in a chair, in an upgraded hotel room. He calls the show his ass is in a chair. His wife thinks he's weird. He got a beard. He loves the Jets, the Super Jets. He's a big fella. He's all alone in a room on a chair. But that's a big fella.
I just tuned in. I just tuned back in. What the fuck is this? This guy being on here, bro. Bro, why are you on a Jets show?
Because I came to talk to our division rivals.
Bro, we don't need to talk to trash bags from Boston, bro. You guys.
How do you know I'm from Boston? We have Cowboy fans all across.
Okay, bro. You root for the Patriots, correct?
Correct.
Trash.
Okay, why?
Why? Okay.
What if I was a Bills fan?
Tom Brady was a bitch for all the years that he played against in the NFL.
Okay. Let's
always
say I
complaining
came here and
to
I
the
was
refs
a Bills fan.
all the time, deflating balls, and just
there's no proof of that.
There's no proof of that. Oh, there's proof of that. What is that? Who signed that?
Look, it's our Super Bowls. It's the greatest players. It's a ball I got.
That's a ball you got? You
Yeah,
can throw
the
that in the
greatest
trash
Patriots.
with everything
We got
else.
Julian
That-
Edelman.
You have this is trash, okay? Why do you have Tom Brady, his jersey?
That because I said that jersey back there is worth more than your franchise.
It's speaking of franchises, how many hand jobs did Robert Kraft get this past offseason from the
Calm your freaky down.
Hey, number 10.
Trash
This is the new one.
franchises, bro. You're a trash franchise. And
Why?
I'm finally happy that you clowns are in last place and you're gonna stay in last place.
We were
I saw Drake May the other day. He threw like 5 interceptions in 12 passes in practice. So you guys can enjoy the basement, enjoy that we kicked Belichick's ass out of Boston on his final game. We beat him. And,
in Boston, the Celtics. What happens with the Celtics and the Knicks?
The Knicks beat the
Celtics won
Celtics.
a title.
The Knicks
We
beat
won
the
a
Celtics.
title.
The Knicks beat the
And
Celtics.
we won the title.
Bro.
Yeah, we won the title.
All right,
And you guys are
you
going
want to go
against
there? You want to go
another
to
team we
other
beat.
sports? Let's go to championships in baseball. How those
Yeah,
Yankees?
the greatest team you
How about
have.
those Yankees, bro? Where are we now? We're in first place. We're in first place.
The
How many
greatest team
championships
you
do we
have.
have?
It was
How many championships do we have? 27. 27 championships. How many does Boston have? Not that much, pal. Not that much.
actually our titles combined in all the sports are pretty equal. And you guys have 2 teams. You have Islanders.
We're not counting your titles in friggin' roller hockey, bro. We're talking about real sports, okay? Championships in baseball, 27, man. You can't take that away from us. You can't take it away from us.
I'm not. I'm real. That's the greatest team you have. Greater than the Jets, greater than the Giants, greater than the Knicks.
Greater than the whole city of Boston. The New York freaking Yankees. Now listen.
Hey, man.
I don't know why you're calling into a Jets show. There's no need for you to talk on this channel, bro. No need to talk on this channel. We're good without you. Trust me. We don't need
I
it.
came on purpose to this because I want to find a Bills channel too.
You want to find a
Because I
Bills
don't-
channel? You can go hang out with those jackasses too, man. We don't
Why
need you in
haven't this-
Jetland,
So if I
buddy.
came in a Bills jersey, you'd treat me the same way.
What?
Or a Dolphins jersey.
You're goddamn right. Because we're the Jets. We don't like any of the other teams in this division, bro.
But what if I came in a Mahomes jersey?
In a Mahomes jersey? Mahomes could go to
Yeah,
hell
the
too.
second greatest
We
player.
like the Jets. Jets, Jets, motherfuckers. Let's
Then
go.
I like the Patriots. I don't care about the Celtics. I don't care about the Red Sox, the Yankees. I'm just a Patriots fan.
You know what that sound means? It means peace out, bro.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
That is the ultimate whole send-off we've had. Beast sent 6 rings to the hole. Beastbreaker just spent $50 and sent him to the hole. You talk about earning your stripes as an Asmaniac, even if you're the biggest beast hater out there. You got to respect the hell out of that move. Wow. What a move that was by Beast. Unbelievable turn of events. Beast going from heel to babyface, to use a wrestling analogy. Dave Bringer, Beast, nice job. Rich, who despises Beast. Smooth move, Beast. A Beastbreaker turning point. Reese, all love. I can't believe this. And here's the thing. Beast is not even on hold for the first time in forever. He just did this sitting in silence. Dixon, damn Beast, respect. Purple Belt Mike. Beast killed it. Smoke Chat. Beast is getting my vote. Boomtown, what a day. Bobbleneck, never thought I'd say this. Great job, Beast. Beast, that was game over. Brian says Beast gave him his ticket and sent him to the back of the line. Wow. That was something, man. Unreal. Wow. Shout out to Beast, huh? I can't believe that. That was something. Attaboy, Beast.
Who cares?
And Beast says, see ya. By the way, Beastbreaker in the raffle for normally 10, but I'll tell you what. I'm doubling this one, Beast. We're giving you 20 entries for this. I think you've earned it. Unreal. Let's go. More of your calls right now. Black Gypsy's on the line. Black Gypsy, I was kind of hoping I was going to get a chance to have you go up against 6 rings, but I think I think the way it played out was still perfect regardless.
That was perfect. Beast deserves just a free jersey. No raffle. Like, that was perfect. It blows my mind that we don't call other shows and talk about other teams. But we're hated so much that this kid on his day off with his semi-retarded ass decided to call us on our, like, he was trolling the whole day. I'm just gonna call into the Jets show to talk shit about the Jets. Do you not know, like, we're the angriest people in the world? Why would you call us to tick us off, bro? Like, why? What is the whole? That shit blows my mind. All I called to say was, "Fuck Allen."
Well said, ladies and gentlemen. Black Gypsy, always a great take. And that's a take that's timeless, right? It's never going to age poorly. Thunderlips, he just paid 6 rings bounty. What a move. Big fella says, Jake, give my jersey entries the Beast. Wow, what an act of generosity from the big fella. I'll tell you what. I'll send Beast something special. We'll still add him in the raffle, but I'll make sure we send him some fresh merch and some other stuff. What a move by Beast. Good job, Beast. Well done. That was big time. $50. Beastbreaker. Holy hell. Anthony, $50. I have to match Beast in support of him. Nice job, Beast. Boom. How about that? That is incredible. Wow. I'm blown away by this. I really am. I was not expecting that. First off, I wasn't expecting a Pats fan to call and for that to take on a life of its own. But then for it to end with Beast being the one of all, the man who's been sent to the hole more than maybe anyone besides Allen, being the guy to do it. What a plot twist. Hey, Nate, is this show still bad? Big fella. I already read that one. But anyway, it's a great one to read again. He wants his entries to go to the Beast. Well said. Mike Perez with a super chat. This guy broke into his grandma's room and placed Pat's declarations on her wall without her permission. Un-effing believable. Mike D's Nuts says Subaru. That explains a lot. I mean, it's said under his name that he drives a Subaru. Jason Picker. Jake, well done getting the convict who drove the snowplow for the Patriots on your show. Also, there's something that needs to be done, too. Let me just take care of this right now. All right, I should have done this earlier, but then we had the Pats fan that called in and all the craziness. So this, to me, is a holeable comment. Allen wrote in when he saw the Pats fan first call in, is that a Drake May jersey? Kid is going to be a stud. Once again, Allen, fraud, not a Jet fan. See ya.
Now look what you've done, Allen. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give him another 24 hours to think about it.
Even if you think Drake May is going to be good, why are you writing on a Jet YouTube show? Is that a Drake May jersey? He's going to be a stud. Like, Allen, you sit when you pee. No one likes you. No one. Enough. And it's funny because you need this show and the people who tune in every day to give you attention. You need it. You keep coming back. And also, if you missed yesterday's show, this cannot be shown enough, all right? Be careful if you ever see Allen out and about because he is an odd guy, all right? Any guy who's going to admit this in a YouTube comment section has got major issues, all right? Let's just call it for what it is. Weird. Very weird. On that note, let's check in with the man of the the man of honor, the star of today's show. Ladies and gentlemen, we hear from the Beast.
You know what time it is? A Beastbreaker 666. I'm gonna take my fist and shove it up your ass, and then he gotta go.
All right, 1 and 2 at the plate. Aaron Judge looks down. Look, whoa, down in the outside corner. All right, here comes the windup. The 3-2. Wind it up. Aaron Judge looks. Here it goes. Back in the left field. She's going. She's going. And can we say it? See ya. Ah! Ah!
You know what time it is? A Beastbreaker 666. I'm gonna take my fist and shove it up your ass, and then he
I think less is more with Beast on a day like today. Well done, Beast. Your contributions to today's show will never be forgotten. What a show, man. Gator writes, and I hope the chat understands what $50 is to Beast. He doesn't have a lot. Amen, Gator. Well said. We'll make sure Beast is properly taken care of. Black Gypsy. Good job, Beast. F that guy. J-Boy, that was perfect. Love it. Jimbo, does Allen fist himself with 6 rings? Possible. Hilarious. Big fella says, so funny. Beast came to help his therapist. Big fella, you make a great point.
Yeah, man. He did a hell of a job, bro. Good job, Beast. You stood up, man. And that's what you got to do with Bobby Beasley, too. You see how I tried to handle that fucking jackass? No. You stand up to Bobby Beasley, man. And we got this. We got each other's back. Let's go.
Love it. Big fella. Great job. Great points. Killing it. Josh is on the line. He's next. Hello, Josh.
What's up, Jake?
How we doing, Josh?
I could be better. I'm on the day-to-day. I had some stomach issues last night, so
no.
yeah, I had to. I took the day off. Yeah, but I gotta say, Beast, in my short-lived history watching this show, you could not have done a better job. If I heard another word from that guy, my phone would have been out the window. I can't believe that. Beast, I gotta say, you're the man today. All right. Beast, call into the Connor Long show if you get a chance. Amazing. Put it down in history. This right up there with the Charles Gorman call from yesterday. 2 back-to-back awesome episodes, I gotta say.
Josh, you're the man. Feel better, all right?
Yes, sir. See you.
Great call by Josh. Love it. Ladies and gentlemen, before we bring on our next caller, there is a video that needs to be played. We need to give this guy proper credit for what I believe is one of the great bit payoffs in the history of the Asmaniac community. If you've been watching the show, you know that Charles Gorman, during a recent Bobby Midnight stream, called in live from the toilet, live from taking a dump. He has confirmed it. There's video evidence of it. We all have seen the clip by now. So yesterday on the Charles Gorman show, Thunderlips called into the program and gave Gorman a little taste of his own poop.
Having some barbecue chips. Hello, Thunderlips.
What's up, Charles? Oh, yeah, take us around. Let me see.
This is my table. This is my my bed stuff, but I had to get a new mattress. This is the couch I've been sleeping on. This is my television, my cable, my Xbox, my one. That was toilet paper. I saw that.
I don't know what you're talking about. A little bit of corn. But hey, congratulations on the house. I'm gonna wash my hands and I'll call back. I'll be back.
All right, no problem.
Incredible. And it didn't even faze him. He's just like, all right. It's invasive. Well done, Thunderlips. That was hysterical. Legendary.
Hey, I was waiting. It was payback. The second, every time he goes live, usually it's like these short clips, but the second he put the link in for StreamYard, I'm like, I got to pump and dump. I got to push something out just for him. But yeah, he wasn't looking half the time, but I did feel like I told you, I felt dirty as shit. I felt like, I don't know how people could do that. I felt disgusting afterwards. But
just an amazing job by you. There's no other way to say it. Like that is sensational.
That was for the Bobby Midnight show and Addison, and everyone had to smell that dude's or farts and watch him take fucking drop loads off every time. But hey, dude, this is May 28th, and we got Patriots fans calling into the show. We must live rent-free in their heads, because why would, on your day off, like Gypsy was saying, why would you call someone else's show just to flex on them and show the same football over and over and over again? It makes no sense.
None of it makes sense. That was an interesting one. He also drives a Subaru and was denying the fact he drives a Subaru. Very odd.
Yeah, and that was Gator's the fucking man. That shit was hilarious. That was funny. Beastbreaker, I don't give you props all the time. Good job. I know you finally cashed that check and that checkbook you've been showing us every time, saying that it's next to your computer, So, hopefully that shit doesn't bounce. But, man, hey, thank you for making me feel better on a day after a horrendous loss. You're the man, brother. That's all I want to say. Just checking in.
Thunderlips, I appreciate it, but you were the man. Ladies and gentlemen, the man who delivered payback to Charles Gorman, Thunderlips.
Nice job.
Yeah.
Hey, guys. You're well dressed up.
He can't stand up. He's taking his shit.
Are you in the
He's
bathroom?
in the bathroom, bro.
Yes, I'm in the bathroom, Bobby.
Are you
taking a dump?
No,
Taking a dump?
you're not gonna have that crap.
That man was way too concentrated.
He couldn't show the fit because his pants were around his ankles.
I'm not having that shit again. Charles, you're not coming in anymore until you get that.
Indubitably.
Yo, he just fucking.
What happened?
He's in the bathroom calling my show again.
Ew. I don't want to see that.
Oh shit, man.
Anyway,
I don't come on to take a shit on your show. Charles, do never ever come on my show getting in the crapper, okay?
My bad. Anyway, I just want to stop by and say hi. Sorry about the bathroom incident.
Unbelievable. Shout out to Thunderlips. Love it. All right, couple calls left here. It's been a wild show if you're just tuning in. When the show ends, if we could get some listeners that could timestamp the whole 6-ring saga, culminating with Beast ending in the bounty to deliver the final blow, that'll be super helpful for those who missed it. Charleston Jetrib is next. Hello, Charleston.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, thanks, Beast, for foregoing the 10 pounds of gabagoo to get rid of that gabagoo. So I appreciate that. You know, what is it about Boston fans being so mentally challenged? First off, you write in that little white box down there. So he wrote that, had no clue what anybody was talking about. Second thing, he says, oh, you guys are going to fear Drake May for the next 5 or 10 years. And then about 2 minutes later, he says, well, I don't even know if Drake May is going to be anything. And then he tries to make it sound like Jason Tatum was injured for the entire series against the Knicks this year. Just goes to show you, man, they got no fucking head in their brain. There's no brain in their head. Sorry about that. But
well, just the idea of calling into a Rivals YouTube show, I don't watch shows that don't involve the teams I root for. Like, I'm not tuning into a rival unless it's like, you know, after a crazy game and I want their perspective and there's some trolling going on. But in May, you're calling into a Jet show? What are we doing here?
Yeah, and then all his points, he pretty much contradicted himself the whole way through. But man, I just wanted to say what a great Labor Day show. Unfortunately, why I wasn't able to watch live. And then yesterday, when your first show came on, I was watching that. I only got about an hour into your Labor Day show, so obviously the fireworks hadn't quite hit yet. And like just a few minutes into your first show yesterday, you were talking about everything that happened, so I couldn't watch live. I had to go back and watch a show. Man, that was epic. That was unbelievable. I mean, you had two of the greatest moments ever between the Beasley and Beast, and then Gorman with his freaking machete hacksaw, whatever the hell you want. I don't know how you can cut yourself that bad shaving. Like, seriously, how is that even possible? It's insane. But that was a great show, man. That was a great show. But I don't want to hold you up too long. I know you're getting near the end of the episode. Just a couple quick things. Fuck off, Louis 6 rings. And most importantly, fuck off, Alan. Love you, Jake. Bye-bye.
Well said. Salient points from Charleston Jetrib. By the way, it was Memorial Day. But we know what you mean when you said Labor Day. It was crazy, man. It was one for the ages, that show. It really was. I mean, the fact that Charles Gorman called in and thought there was nothing wrong with his neck, I can't get over that.
There you go. Don't move.
Oh, shit. You're not kidding.
I mean, disgusting. Jimbo says, Labor Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July, all the same at Charleston. Just package it all together. Unreal. We're accepting raffle entries, and you can donate yours to the Beasts if you want, if you designate that for the Clyde Frazier jersey, Namath jersey, and the CJ Mosley jersey. Let's get to more of your calls right now, shall we? Philly Noodles is next. We got about 5 minutes left, so let's try and squeeze in as many as we can here. What's up, Philly?
What's up, brother? So I just tuned in right at lunch to Beast, bro. He's inspired me to watch WWE highlights. He doesn't understand recently the gabagool. It's at an all-time high right now. He cannot mess this up. And like Alan, go F yourself, brother. You talking crap in there, bro. You say shit every time I come on here, bro. You son of a, you Iowa Buckeye fan. You're nasty, bro. Who comes on here with that? You could be a fan of Listen, I'd rather you tell me there's a professional team in Guam. The Iowa Buckeyes. Disgusting, bro. You and George Kittle could eat it. All right.
Philly, great points. Well said. Alan won't have anything to say today because he was already sent to the hole. Oh, is that Drake May jersey? Kid's going to be so good. And claims to be a Jet fan. Just a bum. Jets Johnny, who knocked out Alan and Asmaniac Mandis, is on the line. What's up, Johnny?
Jake, not much, man. I just wanted to tell Alan to go fuck himself. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much. Well said. Jason in Jerusalem is up next. Hey, Jason.
Hey, a couple things. One, Beast, well done. That is as good of a face turn as Daniel Bryan against Bray Wyatt in the steel cage. If you remember the Yes movement in Providence. Okay, go look that one up. That was one of the greatest heel face turns when he turned on the Wyatt family. Beast, that was on par. Kudos to you.
Okay,
1982.
So I couldn't think of.
Right. You turn heel or you turn face?
Got it. Turn face. All right. So Beast turned face today. Got it.
He turned face. Baby face. Baby face Beast.
Baby face Beast. Love it. He did a great job.
I mean, you get amazing guests on this show. 1982. I don't know if you're familiar with the snowplow game. Are you familiar with that, Jake?
The snow cloud game.
Snowplow.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I am. I've seen the NFL films for it. Yeah.
Okay, so that was driven by a convict on a work release named Mark Henderson. You had his nephew Louis on the show today. How you happen to have a convict's, the nephew of a convict on your show? I mean, that's the only explanation. A bloodline cheater to come in on the show.
Was that actually him though? I don't know. Like
No, I'm just making that up. But I mean, it would make sense. It sounds good. If I say it with a straight face, it was.
I don't rule it out.
Louis Henderson, whose father cheated to get them a win, is going to come onto a Jet show because he has nothing better to do than argue with the last place team from the year before.
Correct.
I mean, come on. I mean, there is something called the Red Sox. They're doing half decent. Try to support them. No, I need to take a crap on the Jets.
Hey, Jason, if you want to help the show, here's what I'll do. Big fella says, if Jason says F you, Alan, I'm donating $50. I will then take that $50 and send it right to Beast, and he'll get his money back for his generous deed.
Oh, after you what he said? Fuck you, Alan.
Yeah! There we go. We got it. Jason in Jerusalem coming through for the people. Incredible. Beast, we're about to get you your $50 back, courtesy of your therapist. Just incredible. Hell yeah. But Jason in Jerusalem is going to get on it. That's what you know. 5-spot, channel memberships, Green Gang. He just gifted them. Let's go.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
The following 5 people are channel members. Z-Breathe, Ocho Nueve, Juno Rudy, Stephen T, and Big Loyal. Ladies and gentlemen, the big fella is a man of his word. $50. Damn it, he writes. And Beast, I don't know if you have like Venmo, Beast, or Zelle, but you tell me the best way to get this to you. We'll make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, the big fella, a true legend, coming through for the people. And by the way, hey, 6 rings.
Rejected. Sorry.
See ya. Love it. What a show. A couple big takeaways from today. 1, Alan fingers himself. 2, 6 rings is in the hole. 3, the Jonny Danks conversation was an awesome part of the show. Watch Shakey Ground. 4, there was plenty of Jets and Knicks talk at the beginning of the show. So if you tuned in late for the chaos, we did do a ton of sports at the beginning of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys are the best. Thank you to everyone. We're back this afternoon. Dylan Terreman's joining us at 4:30 Eastern time. If you're watching this live right now, please hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Podcast promotion, please spread the word. Audio, Jake Asman Show on Apple and Spotify. And info on the Tampa meetup is out for the Saturday night party. Tailgate confirmation's coming too. And we're down to 2 hotels right now, trying to pin them up against each other to get the best rate for listeners who are looking for a group rate. Stay in one spot for our Tampa meetup. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. It's going to be first come, first serve. We'll see how many rooms I get guaranteed. But if you definitely want a room, join the Patreon, get in the Discord. You'll have all the info when it becomes available for those who plan on coming to Tampa. What a show. Thank you all. Best listeners ever. One day the Jets will be good, I promise. I can't promise that, but I think it will happen. Anyway, love you all. JETS. Jets, Jets, Jets. And if you missed it the other day, let's give you some Charles, Eugene, and Gorman on the way out of here.
Hi, Jake. Hi, Nick.
Hey, buddy.
Mr. Gorman?
Just say hello, Mom. You're in the mood today. Mom's
How's the
making
mood
a
going?
macaroni salad, potato salad, and also egg salad, right, Mama? No.
Charles, what happened to your neck?
Oh, I shaved.
Charles, you're bleeding.
No, I
Wow.
stopped the bleeding. I put the healing stick on it. Oh, shit. You're not kidding.
Charles, go take a shower. Wash that off, pal.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Stop bleeding. Stopped.
It looks great, Charles. You got it all. Perfect. Well done. There you go. Don't move.
Yeah, no. Leave your neck down. Go like this.
Charles, stop, man.
Was OJ at your new apartment? What really happened?
It bled a lot, but I stopped it with the healing stick.
Nate says he just called the Woodbridge police and they're going to be over in 3 minutes.
I'm not bleeding, guys. It's
Charles,
stopped.
stop showing it.
I actually have shaved my peeps in the past, but that's another story.
What does your mom think of this? Go ask her.
I did not shave with a Rambo knife.
Charles Gorman, First Blood.
Get the movie posters ready. Here we go. Coming to theaters this summer. Charles First Blood in theaters. July 1st. This is just too funny. Genergy says, go clean yourself up. She's a lady telling you this.
Fine, I'll clean up. I'll call back later.
Charles Gorman stars in Platoon. Looks like you got shot, Charles.
Are you done?
What do you mean, you people?
Mrs. Clifton watching alongside me on the smart TV, and she's troubled by Charles's wound.
Charles, you'll do something in 2 weeks that makes us totally forget about this shit.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
Charles, a week ago, you called into a show taking a dump.
Totally forgot about it.
So you'll one up this. I'm not worried. It's what the greats do.
Mom, do everything rubbing alcohol? Found it. Let's sing right now.
What'd you do with the shirt? Throw it in the garbage?
Do it in the dirty.
No, you gotta take the blood off of it. Put my clothes.
I didn't put it down on the floor.
Well, rinse it out upstairs in the sink so all the blood comes out of it.
I don't care for that movie. Oh my God, you guys are unbelievable.
One more movie that Charles is starring in, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Never change, Charles.
Alan, go fuck yourself.